Ladies and gents, welcome back. With our holiday season approaching, the federal government of Canada couldn't help itself but to post some particular cringe on the interwebs, aimed at your children nonetheless. Public health officer for the federal government, Theresa Tam, a bastion of healthy living here, took time out of her sarcophagus to give us this brief message on Twitter.
Well, kids, I'm just doing my yearly call to the North Pole for Santa's holiday health check.
Ho, 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 ho.
Why, hello, Dr. Tam.
Mrs. Claus, so good to see you again. Where did Santa go?
Oh, Santa was late for snow yoga with the elves and reindeer. He says it's great cross-training for sleigh driving.
Sounds fun. Are you all set for the holiday season?
Of course. I must say, Dr. Tam, it just warms my heart to see everyone in Canada, especially kids, working so hard to keep the holidays safe and cheerful for all.
So am I, Mrs. Claus. Every child in Canada has definitely earned a place on the nice list. Their parents and caregivers too. It's been a tough season with lots of viruses making people sick.
Thankfully, Santa and I are feeling as healthy as ever. We are both up to date with our vaccinations, including COVID boosters and flu shots.
That's so good to hear.
I always tell Santa to make a list and check it twice. 1, stay up to date on your vaccinations. 2, wear a mask.
I thought we got rid of the government vaccination list. Oh, no, this is a private vaccination list through Santa. Sorry, I'll let it continue.
Crowded indoor places and make sure it fits nice and snug. 3, wash your hands to the tune of jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Great advice. Great voice too. Also, you can be sure to stay at home if you're feeling sick. And if you're gathering indoors with other people or elves, open a door or a window for a few minutes at a time to let in some fresh air. The more items you check off the list, the more protected you are.
Yes, you can think of it like decorating a tree. You need tinsel, lights, ornaments, and the star on top. The tree is at its best when all the decorations are up and nicely layered.
Thanks, Mrs. Claus. Happy holidays, everyone.
So cringe. So absolutely cringe. But we have more news. We have Quebec health authorities tell residents to stay home during the holidays. Now, it isn't as bad as it sounds. Quebec top public health official Dr. Luc Boileau advised residents to stay home and avoid going out for the holidays if they show any symptoms of being sick. So they're just telling people, you know, if you're not feeling well, stay home. You're probably better off. Don't get other people sick. But he couldn't help it. At the federal level, Chief Public Health Officer Dr. Theresa Tam told Canadians not to let their guard down. You need to stay afraid. Just keeping those people afraid. In Canada, variations of population level of immunity and current global trends suggest that an uptick in COVID-19 could occur in the new year, claimed Tam, with the increased prominence of these variants in Canada. At minimum, we could see a slower decline and at a higher plateau in the number of infections as well as hospital admissions in Canada as respiratory virus season plays out. Now they're talking about respiratory season, virus season, because it's not just COVID-19 anymore. Be afraid, everyone. Be absolutely afraid. Now, people always sharing brilliant things with me on Twitter. We have Falbala. I'm not even going to, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Quebec, they're telling us not to eat cold cuts during Christmas. Less chance of catching COVID if we eat hot meals. They're actually saying this. We saw even people warning against broccoli and raspberries because the amount of surface area on them that viruses could lay dormant on. Turkey is now bad for the environment. Quebec City is planning on canceling Christmas because of bad weather. This is a thing, and of course saying the weather's fine. The weather's been fine for a lot of people here, but let's get to this article. This one cracks me right up. Holiday meals not so good for the environment. What? We can't have a holiday feast? A typical holiday meal produces 70% of carbon emissions in one day for one person, according to a recent study released on Wednesday. What do you mean by that? What is that actually getting to? A meal consisting of, for example, roast ham, pork pie, a slice of fruitcake eats up 70% of a person's daily carbon budget. Wait, who gives the budget? This is a government budget of carbon. How much carbon are you allowed to daily consume? Now, most people would say that you don't consume a lot on a regular basis, but on the holidays you have a feast. That's right. People get together and they have a feast with their family and they get together with loved ones. And this is just kind of a tradition that we've had for many, many years. And our government's trying to get rid of traditions for their own reasons. The purpose of this analysis is to highlight the significant environmental footprint of a holiday meal. Among the data used for calculation proposes, the research team estimated, among other things, the environmental footprint linked to the use for food, the land use for food production, heating, transport, and Christmas gifts also contribute to increasing greenhouse gas emissions. Feel guilty about this. And again, this has been linked, the whole carbon credits, carbon system has been largely linked to, well, compared to indulgences of past centuries. We all know that there was indulgences introduced by the Catholic Church where the priesthood, who were double plus good, they were super good people. God had a huge favor with them. And if you sinned, you had bad points and you would go to the bad place. So what you could do was you could buy those good points from the clergy. And that would get you out of the bad place. Now, it was called indulgences, and it took the Reformation to get rid of that. We had Martin Luther. He protested against the church, started a whole new wave of things. We all know where that ended up. But I digress. This is the new indulgence, this new era of carbon credits and carbon trading. The team also noted that a vegetarian meal only consumes 14% of a citizen's daily carbon budget. You're just a citizen, you automaton. You should eat your bugs, or if you prefer, have your vegan meals, your vegetarian stuff. The food sector contributes to the production of 28% of greenhouse gas emissions in Canada. Oh, what a skewed statistic. Actually, the food sector, i.e. farming, sucks up largely more carbon than they consume. So let's not forget that. If you go by a farmer's field and you took a sample of the air above a wheat field or a cornfield, for example, during the day, peak photosynthesis process is happening, it would probably be very, very low because of how much oxygen those plants are actually pumping out due to their consumption of carbon dioxide. But I digress on that one. But here's a great conversation piece, because I know the vegetarian thing's been pushed so much. This is Piers Morgan arguing with a vegan about precisely this. And this one caught my attention. I love this.
You're a vegan, right? I'm a meat eater. Why can't we just both live happily in each other's orbit? Why can't you let me just get on with eating meat and you eat your gruel and we'll all go home happy?
Do you believe in the climate crisis?
Yes.
Well, the animal agriculture, farming and fishing is a leading cause of the climate crisis.
You know what's also a leading cause of climate crisis? Planes which carry vast amounts of your avocados and your almonds from California and fly them thousands of miles to your table here in your vegan cafes. And then they also go in trucks. And that is an environmental hazard too. So you're not only are you killing billions of bees, you're destroying the planet. And yet you have the brass neck to sit here in between munching your almonds and your avocados and start preaching to me about how virtuous you are about not killing animals. You're a vegan,
Unbelievable. Right? Now, I've always said, don't be environmental. Don't be a mental patient when it comes to this stuff. But definitely be economical. and it's definitely a thing. I try to do all my shopping as local as possible. And then I'm not having any impacts on the environment, or I'm having minimal impacts on the environment. But I'm not a climate alarmist, but I'm definitely in favor of having a clean environment. There's a big difference here between being crazy pants and just being environmental and being economical. So please see your family over the holiday season. Do the things that you love to do. Never mind what our federal government is trying to tell us, whether it's the scares of the environment or scares of new pandemics, ones that we have once in a century. So yeah, enjoy your holidays. From my family to yours, wishing you guys all a very happy holiday. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole concept of cringe for one, and the vegans with their cringe coming at us. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe today, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.